more than being anti-abortion. There's a big difference. When you are anti-abortion and you continually vote to cut benefits going towards WIC, CHIP, SNAP, programs that our children use after birth, you are no longer pro-life, you are anti-abortion. I love that y'all want to be pro-life, be pro-life. Support these programs that the children rely on once they're actually born. All right, so had to get that aside real quick. All right, I'm a working class Arkansan. I was a blue collar worker for most of my life. I worked 7 days a week, worked my butt off to be able to pay my way through school, where I finished 3 degrees, graduated magna cum laude. I'm currently a student at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, working on my information systems degree, specializing in blockchain engineering. I've been working at JB Hunt for about 4.5 years now in IT, and I'm a small business owner, so I'm a pretty busy guy. I work hard, and I've worked hard for everything I have, and I don't want everything that we're working hard for to be given away, but we need to focus in the right areas about misallocation of funds. I hear a lot of the Republican governor candidates talking about getting rid of state income tax. Great, 4.9%, that would be nice and all. But how about lowering federal income taxes? That's what we need to be looking at. Your family, my family, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, we're paying 20 to 30% of our incomes in taxes, while billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk are paying little to nothing at all. When we have our small businesses, our small ranchers, farmers, independent contractors, self-employed, we're paying 30 to 40% in taxes, while giant corporations are paying little to nothing at all. These are problems that affect everybody. It doesn't matter what color you claim to be, they affect us all. And these are the problems we need to be talking about. And that's why this campaign is gonna win, because we are focused on kitchen table issues that affect everybody. My big number one is healthcare. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical debt. If you didn't know, 62.3% of all bankruptcies, that's medical debt. 70% of those people have health insurance. They're doing everything right. They're going to work, paying high premiums, deductibles, co-pays. They get sick and they lose everything. I've driven over 95,000 miles across this state, and this is a bipartisan issue. Again, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Green Party, anything. People are losing everything and dying because of medical debt. Healthcare for All will, on day one, eliminate the number one cause of bankruptcy in America. And the big question I always get, of course, is how do we pay for it? Nothing's free. So here's how we pay for it. It is 4% of your income after $29,000. I'm gonna throw numbers out and try to be real quick for y'all. Last year, average household income in Arkansas was $48,000. You take 48, subtract 29, 4% of that, $760 per year. That's what the average Arkansan family will pay to cover everyone in their house with no premiums, deductibles, co-pays. It includes in-home health care and has a $200 cap per year on prescription drugs. This is very important legislation. Our current private healthcare system will cost us $42 trillion over the next 10 years. Healthcare for all will cost us $40 trillion, saving us $2 trillion. It's going to save lives. It's going to make medical access and affordable. These are things that we have to be talking about. Again, bipartisan issues. Another important issue I support is the federal decriminalization of cannabis and nationally expunging cannabis convictions. Why is Asa Hutchinson worried about spending $80 to $100 million on 500 new prison beds when we could just expunge 500 nonviolent cannabis convictions? It would change lives, it would save us money. There's a big problem right now in our government, a big problem. I hear Democrats talking about, well, we're losing our democracy. Republicans will say, we're not a democracy, we are a representative republic. And I'm over here like, hey, y'all, we're not a representative republic anymore because our representatives have sold us out. They don't work for us. They don't represent us. They represent the interests of a small, wealthy few. And this is a problem that is, again, bipartisan. We have Democrats that have sold us out. We have Republicans that have sold us out. And we are to the point where we are no longer a nation that is governed by the people, for the people, but a nation that is governed by billionaires and corporations for their own interests. There are a lot of things I could talk about. I know y'all know we have a lot of problems in the federal government, from this administration to the last and every administration of my lifetime. I don't have time to talk about all those problems, but I do have time to talk about giving y'all a voice, bringing the working class to the legislative table, because that's what's important. We have 6 representatives in the federal government, and we have 6 people fighting for those corporations, fighting for Walmart and Tyson and Simmons. And how many people do we have up there fighting for us? None. Not one. I will be that candidate up there fighting for us. I support term limits. I've signed a term limits pledge, and I've protected myself from that corruption. I know I'm running over. But it's extremely important to understand that a lot of legislators, they have the good intentions. They get elected, and immediately after they get elected, they start worrying about, well, how do I keep my job? I've got to take that money from somewhere. So I will not be running a re-election campaign. I will be sworn in next year. I will serve 6 years with honor. And after my 6 years, I will go back to being in the working class, because that's what our founding fathers wanted our government to be. It wasn't supposed to be a career. John Bozeman, he's a nice guy. He's done a couple things for us. He's been in there for 22 years, and he's sponsored 4 bills. He's had 4 bills passed. We paid him $500K for each of his bills passed. We have these representatives like Bozeman. He's like, well, I'm pro-ag and I'm pro-veteran, but at the same time, they are voting to raise taxes on our small ranchers and farmers, watching Chapter 12 bankruptcies skyrocket, while giant corporations like Tyson and Simmons, again, are taking 70% of the agricultural subsidies out there. These are real problems that we're not talking about enough. My website, it is danforarkansas.com. I'll be here to answer any questions y'all have. You have my pamphlets in front of you. Most of y'all do. The best part about my pamphlet, on the back, on the bottom, is my phone number. So don't hesitate to give me a call. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Dan. And I will say,